on his way around is Tyreek Hill. Hill getting a block, getting another block, and tries to spin out of trouble just over midfield and into New England territory.
We have yet to see Jalen Waddle get a ball thrown to him.
This is Hill. And Hill works his way out across the 20 to about the 23-yard line, and that'll be a first down. 1st and 15 for Miami. That pass down the side, it is grabbed by Tyreek Hill.
I'm surprised that Tua threw this ball, but he sees a matchup out there with Jack Jones, the rookie out of Arizona State, who I thought was in perfect position.
And Tyreek Hill flying. He'll get the ball. Looking for a block, and he gets it again. Ingold with another block. Look at Hill. He's to the 23 with a catch and run, darting his way through defenders. 15-yard pickup.
Gets 7. It changes the landscape of this game.
2nd down and 3, and they go outside, and it's caught for the first down, and it's grabbed by Hill, who picks up 4. 16 times. He's caught 9. 3rd and 10. Tua going deep. Oh, he's got Hill! He's got Hill! That is 6.
Hill is by himself to the right. The Ravens bring pressure off the left side, so that means on the backside, Marcus Peters is one-on-one with Tyreek Hill. Looks like the rookie Kyle Hamilton, the safety, is back there as well.
Tagovailoa, blocked by Armstead. Going, he's got him! He's got him! Tyreek Hill! And the Dolphins have come back! 60 yards! Being down by 3 touchdowns.
Here's Tyreek lined up on the rookie Armour Davis, and there's really not a lot to it. It's just a matter of, hey, I'm going to run by you. Obviously, there was some kind of confusion. Armour Davis doesn't even backpedal. He must think that he has safety help because he didn't even move his feet. He just squared his feet up and just kind of tapped him on the way by. No safety rotation over there. I wonder if Armour Davis...
He's hit 7 consecutive passes before he had to leave. That's Tyreek Hill. Blocked by Ingold, downfield, there's Hill. To the 46. And brought down by Damar Hamlin.
A lot more comfortable right now than he was the last 2 years. Play action, fires over the middle, on target. That's Hill, Tyreek Hill, biggest trade of the offseason. Kansas City to Miami for a ton of draft choices. Little fakery. Pass gotten away, and that's Tyreek Hill. 4 catches, 55 yards. Bridgewater airing it out deep downfield, and that is caught on the rebound by Hill. Awuzie is right there with him. Keeps his concentration, pulls it in, and it's 65 yards and a first down and goal.
And then he's able to secure it. But the safety biting up created that opportunity to get that ball downfield. He said, you know, it's his back and his ankle more than it has anything to do with the head injury, which was surprising, really, after you saw the hit.
Bridgewater. Hill. Tyreek out to the 35-yard line.
There are 2 tight ends. It's 1st and 11. Thompson got a block from the running back and goes outside, and that is Hill, who's belted out of play by Reed. 2nd down and 9. That was a big, giant win over Green Bay. It's Edmonds, and the reverse Hill. Slides, and he's down inside the 11-yard line. Mostert back in. They go to the other side, and Hill may have jumped in front of Reed and got the ball with a nice catch. Gesicki, the tight end, 9th play of the drive, 2nd and 10. Down the middle they go, and that's caught at the 10-yard line by Hill. Hit by Jordan Whitehead.
And you see why the Vikings are happy to have him. 3rd down and 10. Bridgewater to the outside, wide open, first down. Tyreek Hill made his first NFL start, placed by Teddy Bridgewater. Bridgewater on first down, fires, and it is caught. Rolling catch made by Tyreek Hill. Here in the second half. Not much offensively, great defense. Tyreek Hill makes the catch and stays on his feet out across the 40, and for more on.
He'll be fine for many years to come.
Mike had a terrific career as a player in the National Hockey League. Bridgewater escapes, now throws, and it's caught across midfield for a first down, and Hill takes it all the way to the Vikings' 31-yard line. Good relief from Skylar Thompson. Perfect on the last drive, 4 for 4. Play fake on first down, and Bridgewater complete out to the 43-yard line.
43, another throw, and it's right in the hands of Hill again. And Tyreek's right at the first down marker. They've spent a lot in capital, 5 draft picks to get him from Kansas City. It's now 3rd down and 6. Steelers bring 5. Tua with a shot. Tyreek Hill brings it in inside the 30-yard line. First down, and McDaniel will take his final timeout.
3rd down and 14. Quick pass, trying to get Tyreek Hill in space across midfield and dragged down at the 44-yard line, loses his helmet along the way, and he's 4 yards shy of a first down. Dolphins trying to get something going here in the first quarter. Tua to the air on first down. Deep down the field for Tyreek Hill. He's got him at the 41 and cut from behind at the 45 by Will Harris. Lions have the 2nd worst 3rd down defense in the NFL. Only Atlanta is behind them. They've allowed their opponents to convert 47% of the time. Tyreek Hill down the field, and another big play by Hill. First down, Miami. First down and 10. Tua was looking deep. Steps up. Now he's going to fire it down the field for Tyreek Hill. Underthrown again, but Hill makes the catch. Tyreek Hill continues to blaze his way down the field. This one goes for 43. Being with teammates, smelling the grass, the feeling of throwing a touchdown. He said, I'd miss that so much if I didn't play football. Tyreek Hill in space, and Hill picks up the first down.
Penalty makes it 1st and 15. Blocked by Armstead. Downfield, he's got him. The backpedaling Hill. He'll dance. Jeff Wilson, the running back. Tagovailoa has it to the end zone. Touchdown. Tyreek Hill. We just told you he's only been targeted once in the red zone all year. He just caught one right there on a 3-yard touchdown reception. Flip it, baby.
Just a little 5-yard out. Watch, he's on the outside. It's a 5-yard out right at the goal line. Jalen Johnson was in zone coverage out there. It almost looks like the way he's looking at the other defender, he thought someone was going to buzz underneath it.
3rd down and 6. Shell the block and go. Oh, he's got him. It's Hill. He's going to fly down the sideline and inside the 20.
Tua got rid of it down the sideline. It is caught by Tyreek Hill. There is a flag down on the play.
And taking advantage of less people to defend the run.
Tua has that one complete across midfield to Tyreek Hill, and Hill off to the races. Inside the 40 and out of bounds.
To me, it really starts on the inside of that defensive line. That's really hurt them in the run game.
High snap, Tua handles it, and the pass is complete. And Tyreek Hill can't get away.
They like to move around quite a bit.
Tua under pressure, throwing, touchdown, Tyreek Hill.
Inside with no help. You give him inside position with no help, you just can't cover him. Just a nice job by Tua to see the matchup.
Ball is accurate. That's what makes this offense run.
Tagovailoa from the gun this time, again over the middle. This time it's Tyreek Hill. 2 guys who have been playing at a historic pace for this offense.
With Tyreek Hill, it's been a phenomenal job and fun to watch.
Looking for what would be a 5th straight win. Little misdirection with Hill. A speedster who has been playing at a historic clip.
Just ridiculous numbers by Tagovailoa. 3rd and 5, quick drop from the gun, throws right into the chest of Hill. Boy, he's right at the first down marker. Immediately wrapped up by Desmond King. This will depend on the spot. It was really introspective stuff with Dede in our sit down with him this week. As Tagovailoa back to the air, quick cross. Hill showing the wheels. He's out close to the 40-yard line. The devastating talent of Tyreek Hill.
5-game winning streak, but he called this a litmus test for his group. Another quick throw behind Tyreek Hill, but the NFL's leading receiver makes the adjustment. The second half begins with him under pressure. He evaded Ebukam, floats to the sideline, and he's got Tyreek Hill. Empty it out on 1st and 10. Again, well protected. Here's the deep ball. Wants Hill. Perfectly dropped in. Touchdown, Dolphins. In the blink of an eye, they find it and strike from 45 yards. And it's a one-score game early in the 4th.
Out here on the outside, you're going to see Talanoa Hufanga kind of step up to cover the end. There he goes, 29. That opens the middle of the field. And what a great throw. We've talked about him being a little bit inaccurate all game. And that throw, getting it out in front of Tyreek Hill and letting him track it.
They do snap it. Tagovailoa throws and gets a first down. Tyreek Hill, never a doubt. Wow.
Of course. It's tough. Right, with pads on. Exactly. Yes. Well, here he is again in the run up the middle. He fights for the first down, but he lost the ball. Gilman kicked it out. It's still free. Tyreek's got to look out. Tyreek Hill might go. Tyreek Hill was right on the spot, and he's gone for a touchdown. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, Tyreek. The ball finds him.
What is going on around here? I've never seen a first half like that.
Offensive player advanced for a touchdown.
Whatever happened here, so the ball is definitely out. It is definitely a fumble. And now let's see what we can follow from here.
And watch Tyreek. He's there. He's done. Watch him pay attention. Ball is down. Armstead had it. Squeezes through there, and it's just right to, of all people, the fastest guy in the league. Crazy.
I have never seen a play like that in my entire life.
Coming into tonight. 3rd and 5. Shortest distance on a 3rd down. They try to go the distance, and they will. Sheeta, cheat code again. Tyreek touchdown. 60 yards.
Everybody in motion that way. Why do they do that? To get the safety to lean that direction, so you get Tyreek Hill one-on-one against a guy who's been playing him great all night. Feet get tangled up.
They did say it snowed in Alabama. This just in. Tagovailoa to the sideline. There's Tyreek Hill, his first catch of the evening. Bills rush 4. Tua over the middle. It is caught. Tyreek Hill with the grab at the 11. Tua looking for the end zone. Got a man open. It's Tyreek Hill for the touchdown. And for the first time tonight, Miami takes the lead.
That he's too quick, and he gets up to top speed.
Traffic and weather together on the 4s.
What's happening around the country? Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
Snow. Tua on the roll. Sliding grab made. Wow. And you saw the slide.
We're going to have to run it and learn that they could last week. Tagovailoa steps into pressure and finds Tyreek Hill. 13 yards to the 47. Hill's first catch of the day. And just couldn't finish off the Bills. Here's Tyreek Hill, room in the middle of the defense. That is where Tua and the Dolphins have consistently gone this year.
What do they really want from their tight ends, and just kind of think about what you see from San Francisco at that tight end spot.
Tagovailoa loads up and wants Tyreek Hill. He's got him. 1st and goal. They connect again.
Tua Tagovailoa drops it right in the bucket.
I mean, what a throw. It's a guy who struggled throwing the ball down the field his first 2 years. He's the #1 passer in the NFL.
A loss and they're done. Eliminated. Play fake. Bridgewater has time. Zips it. Complete to Tyreek Hill. Lead for New England. First play of the second quarter. Toss it. Tyreek Hill works it along the sideline. He tried to stick the ball out, and he's in for the touchdown.
Teddy Bridgewater wants this to be a touchdown pass, but to me, that was like a lateral to run. But how about Trent Sherfield, number 14 at the top of the screen? He ends up getting 2 Patriots with a block out on the edge. And there, wow.
To make me better. 2nd and 5.
Loving him is probably the first one that makes you better. I know that from experience.
Yep. That's Hill picking up the first down. They knew that around here what they had. They're on the outer edges of a long field goal on 3rd and 19. Steps up. It's Hill, and he's got a first down. He was left open, and they needed 19. They got 20.
On both sides, the corners that have the names we all know about needed to have a big game.
2nd and 12. There's Hill. And Taron Johnson on him quickly, holds him to 4. Coming back over to Hill. He was able to make a low grab. Take it to about the 33. Milano holds on to him this time.
This game can't keep kicking field goals.
2nd and 15. Looking the whole time this side to Hill. Dives near the marker. Since they've been in pay dirt, they've got 3rd and 1. They've got it first. They got it first as Hill had plenty of space to turn it upfield and then go out of bounds at 37 seconds.
Without being aggressive and doing something different.
Thompson looking to the right, flings it. It is caught, and this game is tied as Tyreek is able to haul it in, and who would have believed it? A game that was 17-0 not that long ago.
More than anybody, he creates confusion on defense, and who's going to guard? Can he bounce back, or does he feel like, woe is me, I just screwed up?
There's Hill. Got a nice block. Look at him go past Poyer. Oh, he can just absolutely break your ankle. 2nd and 7. Extra help in the backfield. They're still going to go up top. There's Thompson's throw. Well executed that time, Tony. That's Hill with the catch in the first.